and welcome to my latest video. In this video we have a very summery walk in my hometown's local park. We have a walk by a canal, we have a trip out to a cafe and live sketching. We have a very emotional moment whilst I sort through my shop. Speaking of, we have the introduction of my shop and shop updates. And very importantly, we have a dog show where all the dogs are winners because they're all good dogs. But yeah, this whole first bit is me going on a walk in my local park with my amazing mum, who is just fantastic. And it was very much a nostalgic trip for me and just a really gorgeous day, not gonna lie. And there was also this sort of scavenger hunt for dinosaurs and fairies. Now, I didn't film dinosaurs, I have a couple of friends who have a phobia of dinosaurs, but we did find the kind of finale piece for the fairy section, so look forward to that. And here it is, the whole little fairy section. It was super cute. However, it was also really warm that day, so we stopped at the cafe at the hall and I had some milkshake, which, you know, does not quench your thirst at all. We didn't end up staying too long because by our table there was one heck of a wasp party that we wanted no part of and were clearly not invited to. So we did get up and walk away quite quickly, but it was just really nice to just stop and enjoy it all for a moment. And this is a sketchbook page I did based off my trip home, featuring some of the clips you've seen in this video, my friend, my niece, and my mum's flowers, just as a little memory recording, I guess. And this is me just kind of wanting to share the magic of a little walk I went on with some of my housemates. When I put all this footage together, I really didn't know what the purpose of it was, really. Like, it wasn't really informing any part of the video, but I also said it didn't really have to, you know? It's just something nice to share with you all. Like, look at this adorable tiny little tea house and someone painting their boat right by it. It feels almost very Ghibli-esque, and it's something I'd love to paint at some point, but don't want to pressure myself into doing anything. And actually putting this video together, or putting this segment of the video together, actually helps enforce the memory of it better than just kind of writing it down or referring to photos, because I do pick the music from my videos very carefully, only for me to then just talk over it. But the music I chose and the footage and just how gentle the day was will hopefully at some point inform a piece of art I do based off it, whether it's a sketchbook piece or a fully fledged idea and a full piece that hopefully I may sell one day. More to come on that later. But yeah, not too much to say here, just enjoy this little trip I took. Okay, so this is from back when I went out with my friend Robin to a cafe slash bar and we sat outside. It was a really lovely day. We had tea and bagels and chips and we just chatted about life and sat and painted the building and the vibe and atmosphere from the day. Despite being absolutely lathered in sunscreen, I did manage to get sunburned on my painting arm. I think it's because of the angle I was holding it whilst painting. But other than that, it was just so nice. It was everything I've missed about the last 2 years, being able to have opportunities like this. You know, there were good dogs, there were good conversations, and just so many interesting people around. The key thing for me to capture whilst painting live, and it's something I've discovered whilst painting other areas live, is getting the really intense colours that photos can't really capture, and the vibe I had being there, which I could kind of embellish whilst I'm painting. And then if I want to do a slightly more structurally accurate piece later, I can maybe reference a photo, but I have those colours that I captured from my painting on the day. And then when I got home, I added extra elements that I hadn't brought with me for the meal, because I only brought my paints and some pencil crayons with me, just to finish off the piece, and then added some extra stuff from the day itself and covered up the blind contour I did of my friend Robin. But of course, I can still flip up the picture and access it because it is a thing of beauty. But it's a really nice kind of almost diary entry into my sketchbook, and just something colourful and live and just capturing a memory really. And ta-da! Here's the sketchbook page, I guess. So the footage you're seeing here is me sorting out my inventory from the start of August when I opened my shop. But I'm not going to talk about that just this second. What I want to talk about is something absolutely incredible that happened to me back in May of all times. I've had plenty of time to talk about this, but there just hasn't been the right time or the right way to express it. And I just haven't been too sure how to approach it, and this kind of ties in a little bit, so I'm just gonna bite the bullet and do it. So some of you may know, some of you may not know, that I am trained as a photographer, and my main way of making money is in photography. And over the last year or so, there obviously hasn't been that many opportunities to take photos, to get paid for it at the very least. And I had a job at the start of May and was packing, ready to go, and my camera broke. And thankfully, the person I was working with was incredibly understanding. But I had a broken camera, and my cameras aren't cheap. And I went into my local town to see what they could do, and they were like, we can't really fix this. And so I was like, okay, well, I can get a second-hand version of this camera for about £250. I'll sort this out, you know, we can do this. And went home and had a nap. Because when I'm very stressed, I have a nap. It's just, it's my coping mechanism. Anyway, I woke up and was thinking to myself, okay, like, I can cope with 250 quid. It's not ideal, but I'll make this money back by having the jobs that require my camera. And I checked the internet and found out that a fundraiser had been set up whilst I was asleep to help me cover costs for my camera. And £1,000 had been raised. I still don't really know what to say, how that made me feel when I woke up. By the time the fundraiser was closed, £2,500 had been raised, which is a whole extra zero than what I initially needed. And this meant I could get a really, really cool camera that I'd only ever dreamed of buying. Like, literally, I'd been to a photography show back in the before times, and I'd written down that camera, and I gone, wow, never in a million years. And it ended up, well, a million years ended up being 2 years, thanks to the absolute incredible generosity of friends and people I've met once or twice, and I just thank you so much, everyone. It's just, it restored my hope in humanity and helped me be creative, helped me do my work, and just help me, you know. There aren't words except for 1 trillion thank yous, seriously. And here is the camera and everything it represents and what it means to me. Thank you. Anyway, that all got a little bit intense. Let's have some dogs. Okay, so when we started this video, it was the height of summer, and now it's autumn. This is how long it's taken me to collect footage and get a kind of solid video idea together. But hey ho, you got to see a segment of my life. And yeah, I love autumn, and we went to our local park where there was a scarecrow festival, all based on children's stories. And it was such a beautiful day, and it's that kind of season or change that I love, when it's still very bright, very warm, left over from summer, but we're starting to get the transition into autumn, so the leaves are going gold and the wildflowers are coming out, and oh, it's just that perfect in between of the season transitions that is just my absolute favourite. And you'll see from this video and my spring video two aspects of this park that I really love, which is the community aspect. So back in spring they did a bunch of crocheted Easter creatures hanging from trees, and here they've done the Scarecrow Festival and these really awesome decorations everywhere, but also the more natural side of it. So that spot in spring where the blossom is on the trees and is falling, and it's just straight from an anime, if I'm honest. But also the trees changing from green to gold, and the maintained flowers here, so the wildflowers that have been put in. I'm so grateful for this park, and I absolutely love it, and I love sharing it with you all. I'd love to do a piece of art based on this day with those very intense yellows and kind of blues and greens and the community side of it, but I don't want to pressure myself into it because that's how I stop enjoying art. So having this all together in this video will hopefully remind me of that in kind of months to come maybe, and I'll create something based of it, who knows. And when we came back, my other housemate had made us an apple pie, and you just can't get more autumnal than that, really. And now you are all blessed with the hilarious sequence of me being left-handed using right-handed scissors and double-jointed, and how that all works entirely against me trying to open a box of prints. Also, just my general dumbassery, I guess. So even though you've had a whole segment of me going through my earlier prints and sending out orders, I didn't speak at all about the shop itself, mainly because I was chatting about the incredible experience I had with my camera. But it is very similar in that the whole reason why I have a shop is because of people who donate to me on Ko-fi. And I did want to talk about just that kind of faith and generosity from people helping artists that are struggling and don't have a lot of money to follow their dreams and start creating stuff. And just I ran out of words again because I still can't get over the generosity of both sides of it. Right now you can see me immersing myself in the joys of autumn and creating artwork based off it, which I'm hopefully intending to put in my autumnal update. And it is through people supporting me on Ko-fi and being able to get that first load of prints for my shop that I'm able to do stuff like this and take that time to experiment and create artwork that hopefully people can enjoy themselves, not just online, but purchasing a print and having it in their house, because I would like my art to be accessible for anyone who wants it. And I really enjoyed being able to create this piece and just combine a whole bunch of things I love from the season and stuff that is inspired from it. So this is where I'm going to end this video. It was quite a journey, but hopefully you'll be able to see what I've created in my shop soon, which I'll put a link in my description. And yeah, I really love autumn, so hopefully you'll see some more stuff from me soon. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and just take care of yourselves and enjoy the season. Bye.